Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today is the first of many bridal era videos. Yes, I am engaged, but no, it's not new. I've been engaged for a little over a year now, maybe even 2 years. But my fiance and I love each other very much, so we're just taking our time with wedding planning, and honestly, up until this point, we haven't really planned anything at all, and we still really haven't planned much, and it's not because we don't want to get married. Weddings are just expensive, and we have so many big dreams, and we are doing other things instead, like traveling and whatnot. But I also keep a lot of my wedding planning and ideas on the down low. I feel a little protective of them sometimes. But I will share a little bit with you guys because I know there are so many people my age who are getting engaged and married and don't know where to start, and that's where I'm at. So today we're going to the Seattle Bridal and Wedding Expo. It will be the first time I'm going to this. I've never gone for friends, and now I get to go for myself, which I'm excited. I'm literally just about to leave. It starts at 12 and we'll get there a little bit after 12, but it goes until 5, and I have no idea what to expect. I know there'll be a lot of vendors. I know there'll be photographers, wedding dress places, all of that, but again, I don't know what to expect with the whole experience, so I thought I'd take you along and we can see what it's like together. And I kind of chose a bridal-ish outfit in the sense that it's like very like white and cream based, but this is my dress from Ivy City and a little cardigan from Abercrombie. And then I'll show you, of course, I have a little bow in my hair. I feel like I always wear a bow whenever I have the chance. And to keep with like the white theme, I think I'm gonna bring my little Louis Vuitton purse that I got in Europe the last time I went. I will be going with Hayden, who is my fiance, and then my friend Jen, which you guys know her if you've seen her in my other vlogs. I was originally gonna go with my sister as well, but yesterday was her prom and she didn't want to wake up early for me, which I understand. So now that I'm ready, let's get in the car and let's head to the Bridal Expo. Okay, super beautiful Seattle day for the wedding expo. Love this for us. Say hi to the groom. And hi to Jen. And hi to Taylor Swift. You can't even see it because it's so rainy. It just looks depressing. Okay, we made it to the convention center. The parking was $25, which is a little steep, but tickets are free if you register for them beforehand. So tickets are free, so I feel like the whole experience for having 3 people just to pay $25 for parking isn't bad. And then the parking is connected to the convention hall, so there's not a ton of walking to get to the hall. As you can see, and I gave myself a few days to like collect on my thoughts and think about my experience at the Bridal Expo. It's safe to say I feel like overall it was a bust. As you might have saw, I didn't get like a ton of content, but part of it was because I just like didn't have a great time. It wasn't like an awful time, and I do think that we found some good vendors, and we actually did find a few businesses that I'd love to support, but I feel like the majority of it was a bust. Ma'am, I'm trying to work here. With that being said, I did go into it not knowing what to expect, but I feel like it was everything I didn't expect it to be. Let's break it down. So the cost of the ticket was free. They did say that it was going to be $10 at the door, but there was no one there checking tickets. None of our tickets got checked and no one was getting charged for tickets. So I think they do that maybe just to get like a head count of how many people are coming. But that was my experience. Nobody's ticket was checked. We did have to pay $25 for parking, which felt a little steep, but I did feel like I could semi-justify it with the cost of the ticket being free and like experience to be $25. I was like, okay, that's not crazy, especially if we were getting some good out of it. Now, based on this experience alone, would I go to another bridal expo? Probably not, but I will say that I do feel like this one might have been the worst one to go to. What made it so bad? I feel like there was just a lot less vendors in general than I expected. I thought there was going to be like hundreds of booths, maybe, I'm really bad at estimating, but there was definitely less than 100. I would say probably like 50 like booths and companies there. But the part that was the worst part to me was I felt like a lot of these businesses either felt like MLMs, they felt like timeshare, like just trying to sell things. And of course, you go to these wedding expos expecting to be sold a business, right? You want to find a caterer, you want to find a photographer, you want to find a hair and makeup artist, you want to find all these things. So everyone should be selling things, but it felt more like gimmicky selling than like actual beneficial selling. That being said, there were a few people and a few vendors that we really, really liked, and I would consider them like who I expected to be at the whole of like expo. I feel like me personally, I had issues with vendors that were like timeshares that were trying to force like free vacations on you, but they're not actually free vacations. You have to sign up for a timeshare or give them your time, and there's always like secret hidden thing, like nothing's ever free, right? As I mentioned, the MLM businesses, there are things I've seen on Instagram and Facebook, and it's like very quality items like nail stickers and things like that I'm just like, what are you doing here? Like, it just didn't feel like those were beneficial. The weird thing is there was like no caterers, no food trucks that were promoting themselves, which I thought there would have been, and that was just weird to me. There was one vendor that was sampling their cupcakes, and they were a bakery. Like, that was kind of cool that one of all the vendors were offering samples. But there were several little, like, I wouldn't say bakeries, but there's like chocolatiers and a macaron place, and none of those places offered samples. And I get it, they're like thousands of people coming in, but like nothing really pushed me to want to work with these people. Other thing that I absolutely did not like was there was a lot of vendors for like weight loss and gems, and this is like a very controversial topic. I personally feel like you do not need to change yourself for your wedding. Of course, if you want to look different and make changes, that's 100% okay, just as long as you're being healthy. Like, I'm always the biggest supporter of improving your life, improving your health, but I don't agree with it being shoved down your throat, especially while you're getting married. We're already so stressed about like finding a venue, coordinating, and then to be told that we need to change our bodies on top of it is like, it's a bit much. And so like I could kind of get, there was like an Orange Theory fitness booth, and so I can get that, but there was also like weight loss management, extreme diet people there, and I kind of didn't love seeing that. I kind of was like, ooh, like we don't need to be pushing this down people's throats. I get why they were there again, but it's just something I personally didn't agree with and kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. A lot of like plastic surgeons and Botox and all of that. And again, if that's something you do, that's amazing. Whatever makes you feel beautiful. But again, I didn't love the idea of like so many vendors just pushing to change yourself for your wedding day. So that didn't sit right with me. Naturally, it's going to come with getting married. There's going to be advertisements. There's going to be pushes to like improve your look. But again, I think it could have been done a little differently. But to talk about a few of the vendors that I did like, a few of the companies were very personable, and there was 3 in particular that really, really stuck out to me, and I would definitely promote them, which I will leave their names right here. And one of them is a boudoir company, and they just seem like very nice, uplifting people, and they do couples shoots, they do solo shoots, and it's located in Oregon, which is a bit of a drive if you're in the Washington area, but they seemed so nice, and I love the way they promoted themselves. They seem friendly, like non-judgmental, and they sound really cool. So that was one that I was kind of excited to learn about. Then one of them was a custom suit maker, and what's really cool about them is they don't just do suits, they also do like whatever items you want. So I was talking to Hayden about possibly getting like matching coats made for us for our wedding trip. So personable, and they were so kind, and I loved their aesthetic. But overall, I really liked them, and like their personalities alone, they had me sold on their business. They knew what they were talking about. They were well dressed. They promoted themselves in a friendly way. So I loved them. And the last company was an invitation paper company, and their invitations were stunning. And I just love their aesthetic and what they do. And I would definitely love to use them or work with them. And I love that they're all kind of smaller businesses because I love supporting those. So like, I feel like finding those 3 companies really like was enough to make it feel worth it for going, because I would never have learned about them otherwise. I don't know prices or anything with these companies, so that's something like if you're curious about, you'll have to reach out. I have not reached out to them revolving any of that. We are still kind of in the planning stages of our wedding, like it's very fresh. Overall, I think the wedding and bridal expo just felt like a bust. I would not go back. I would not recommend it. And also, there were so many people in such a small area, and that never is great. Just like go in, if you choose to go to one, just go in knowing you are going to be like thrown advertisements down your throat, and like not in a friendly way. And you can tell like what businesses are genuine, and like those 3 that I told you about, those gave such nice welcoming vibes. But then you'll also get the people who are like, oh, you have to do this and this and this, and come here, right? Like, come sign up, come, I need your number. Oh, I need you to put a deposit down. And you're just kind of like, this is why people elope. I also like almost just stopped filming halfway through, and I was like, I'm not gonna make this a video. But I also want to help people, and I don't want people to feel the way I am. So I'm putting this out there with my collected thoughts. Maybe we'll try another one. If I went to a bad one, let me know, and let me know if there's one that you recommend or want me to go to. This wasn't what I expected. Honestly, didn't even get me more excited to get married, which is kind of sad because I was hoping that it would be like, get me excited to like wedding plan because it's so stressful. With that being said, I am glad that I still went, experienced it, got to know what the whole situation was, and I'm hoping that it kind of helps progress us. And like I said, we might have found a suit maker, we might have found our invitation people, we already have our photographer. She is amazing and wonderful, and I found her through a personal connection. Let me know if you want more wedding videos, wedding planning videos. At this point, I'm like this close to just eloping because it's so stressful and expensive. And I know I'm gonna be with my partner probably for the rest of my life, at least hopefully, like that's the goal. And so I don't mind pushing it off, but also I'm just like, why is it so difficult? But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.